Please come in. Come in. Hello. Come on in. Hit the like button. Hello. Let your presence be known. Come on in. I found some interesting things to talk about. There's some people missing. Dang, I meant to put his name. What's going on with LeBron, too?
Get NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV to watch up to 4 games
come on
live
in,
at
hit the
once
like button.
with Multiview.
Who is playing James? Hey, y'all, come on in. Hey, Chelsea. So listen, I just saw something. What's going on with LeBron? LeBron James, what he got going to have his LeBron steps away from the Lakers for personal reasons. Hey, I'm live. I just went live. Y'all know what's going on with that? This was minutes ago. Stepping away from court for a while. Oh, the Lakers forward. was absent from their December 6th game against the Portland Blazers because of a sore foot, and there's a chance he won't return in time for. Was he injured? Yeah, we need to check on LeBron. But listen, there's some other stuff I want to talk about.
Look, I don't know if they got hacked or something, but all the prices on their...
No. Y'all, I caught another party. Another MEMS party that looked hold out. I mean, you know, it looked normal to us, but it looked hugged out for old sister girl. Y'all come on in so we can talk about it. I'm not going to be here long tonight. I'm trying to really understand and process this downshift of soirees. I mean, I don't know if this ain't no IHOP, but this ain't no Ritz-Carlton either. What is this? Y'all do know I hollered, right?
Friends were friends better than your friend.
This is a birthday party. This the birthday party. That was a MEMS birthday party.
Friends were friends better than.
Y'all, they had another birthday party. Y'all, what's going on? I mean, I know what's going on. But I'm just shocked that they posted it like they are down to earth and like this is how they party. I mean, the money got to, this is not $100 million family party. Come on now. Come on in, y'all. I'm just too done. And I mean, you know, I gotta give it to her because she stunned it, you know, like it is at one of their functions, baby. But I don't know how to process that. Hey, stop playing. Hey, Latoya. I don't know how to process that, y'all. Especially the way that they have been acting like, you know, there is no limit. No limit. And you mean to tell me these last two budget, and it's her 40th milestone? Y'all come on in, hit the like button. I don't know. I don't know. It's funny, and I'm shocked, and I'm kind of confused as to why. Their money is funny. The budget is real. Or maybe humble. I just watched the Jamie Foxx. Let me get to that before I go off into this Jay-Z and Diddy and Gotti. Real quick. I did just watch it. What had happened was I thoroughly enjoyed it. thoroughly enjoyed Jamie. I do not believe he is cloned. There's just no. That was Jamie Foxx. Yes, I cried. I shedded a tear. Shedded it. Well, what had happened was, what had happened was when him and his daughter was singing. What had happened was, yeah, yeah, yeah. Sometimes God will take you way, way, way down to the almost to the very bottom to wake you up and humble you. And that is exactly what I got from this. What had happened was, yeah, because he was Jamie Foxx. He was Jamie Foxx. And it wasn't supposed to happen to him. And he got a wake-up call. I'm glad you made it through. I thoroughly enjoyed the stand-up. Let me get on back. Oh, yeah, and they talking about his fight. And I can see why there could be some people on the other side wanting to fight with him. He was never I know he wasn't, but that's how he was playing, Chelsea. He was throwing it out there like that was. It was bad business deals. It was fudging of paperwork. You know, they had that $545 million bust of a weed company that they was using that estimated what the return was supposed to be. They just lied. But that's okay. Because based on what Forbes said and why they going through them records, that's why they having them type of parties that we have seen yesterday and today. I mean, I'm just shocked. And she got her lips poked out like she is at the Ritz-Carlton, like she's on a private island somewhere. I'm just shocked that this is her 40th birthday, but hey, you got to make it look like how you want to make it look, I guess, and you still gonna stunt, and I don't know. I'm just so done. But anyway, I got some stuff sent to me about a missing artist. Well, I'm calling him missing. Hell, who is playing Jane? and why is there? Yeah, ain't that funny? Another bad deal with some bad artists with Yogotti. And what happened to Prodigy? While everybody trying to make excuses and shit for Jay-Z, it's some things going on. And there was some shootings today. Broad daylight, whole shootouts. I mean, folks, there's some things going on in the city, baby. They still don't get back. So let's be clear about it. So I came in just to briefly talk about, to stir the pot with who is playing Jane. Have y'all ever heard of that CMG artist that's been wanting to get up out his deal, or wanted to get up out his deal? And was who is playing Jane? Do y'all know anything about him and Diddy? Playing Jane. So a lot of reasons for the artist's career not taking off. Deals falling through. So did he handle him like he did? What is Starlito? Rock playing detail fallout from Yogotti CMG over homophobia claims. Did he do everybody dirty? Do he do everybody He shelved him. Did he let him out his contract? Did he let him out his contract? I heard that Keon. Okay, hold on. You talking about that Keon AunTeaFee that served time for Gotti? By the time I was ready to get my ticket to leave for Florida, Gotti home, B Mills, the same B Mills that was repping Finesse 2 times. That was all at them Diddy parties and shit. Okay, I got a call from my 2 friends saying, yo, somebody spreading a rumor about you being gay. Oh, wow, James tells so fine. I got a call from my manager. Shortly after James started receiving calls from C&G Vice President Keon, the hitman Keon. Well, I don't really fuck with nobody like that. Oh, y'all, listen. So they pulled some okie dokie shit with. So Gotti them been doing this type of stuff. So the Brandon Mills, that's the manager, Keon, that took a body, or the attempted body of YOUNGDOLPH. He took that heat for Gotti. Got out. We ain't heard from it. That same Keon AunTeaFee that was standing that you took, showed us pictures of him and Jay-Z. That same one AunTeaFee. This is January 2017. Plain Jay say he had direct contact with CMG. Yeah, that one that had that Rolls Royce waiting on him when he got out of prison. Good evening. Hey. hey, Sheila. Yeah, that one who probably talking to them feds against CMG because he don't want to get caught up in this up and coming Rico. That same. Why does this site got all my old favorite perfumes? Lord, are these people in my mind? Okay, that same one. Oh yeah. Why is this popping up now? Y'all do know Rico right here. Y'all do know that, right? Yeah, y'all do know that, right? And some of these same old people they probably talking to about business deals and how CMG hustled them, manipulated them, lied on them, bullied them. Please hit the like button. Thank you, Chelsea. They better come on. Yes, indeed. Where's Starlito? You know, it was another one. We saw his name. Something boy. Black boy. Blank boy. AunTeaFee, you cannot just make up my names for people. Yeah, so they tried to intimidate him, so they pulled a stunt. That same Brandon B. Mims, sometimes use double M's, that is managing Finesse. Is that what you're telling me? Later down the line, Keon had told me, yo, I think you should try to get around the artist mode. So they put rumors out. I mean, you know, they play games with this man. Did they ever let him out? Or did they push him out, force him out? The only thing, sexually oriented. Ooh. You know, right now, this ain't the time to be talking about no sexual orientation and shit with no people who hang around cool booty buddies and shit with Diddy and Jay-Z and gay accusations. And oh, baby, I bet you he got a story to tell, huh? Huh? B-Mill got his house. Oh, Lord. Y'all go read this article for yourself, baby, because look at here. We gonna do some research. Where is rapper Plain Jane? I've gotten some indications today. This maybe I need to find a better picture. Yeah. Yeah, I'm walk on past that, but we gonna touch bases on that again. Yeah, they tried to do some okie dokie shit with that man. AunTeaFee, huh? He wanted off for years, but they won't release any videos or music, so they blackballed him. They blackballed him. And it looked like, before I move on, they still holding Jizzle. I think he got caught. Let's double check before I go on. Let's double check and see if Jizzle still locked up. I saw Kato 2 times posted. What is but he back at home. So Jizzle's still in there. And he has court in the morning. And they added another charge to him. Something dated 12/12. Y'all see that? Now he was locked up on the 10th. So how he got a charge of an incident that happened 12/12? Did he get into a fight in the jail? Wasn't he picked up on the 10th? He been locked up ever since, ain't he? How he got a charge that's dated 12/12? Something ain't right. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. Can the money say free his little partner? Okay, hold on, y'all. Let's go over here, because I'm not going to be here long. Let's see if we talk.
None other. CMG Zone. Plain James, what's going on with you, baby?
It's good with it, man. Feel good to be out here.
Hey, man. You're not tuned to the plug out of your net. It's your boy, Cool Kill. I got an exclusive. Matter of fact, I'm going to say it again. I got an exclusive interview right now. None other. CMG Zone. Plain James, what's going on with you, baby?
It's good with it, man. Feel good to be out here.
Hey, man. What's been going on with you, man? I heard you was out there at CI, man, cutting up the food a little bit.
Just cutting up. Young, you know what I'm saying? So,
You gotta do what you gotta do.
yeah, man, we have fun out here.
Alright, for those who don't know, who is Plain James?
Well, I'm from, actually, I'll start off like this. I'm the guy that made the song Water Wet that's featured on Yogotti's Concealed mixtape. And it's been buzzing from here to the UK.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But I'm from Harrisburg, PA. I've been doing music for a long, long time. Over about like 14 years in.
Okay.
You know, but I let my music speak for itself. So. Yeah.
All right. So how did you get to what? How did you start off doing music? You know, a lot of people started doing music off of inspiration. A lot of people started playing instruments. But for playing James, how did you start off pushing towards wanting to pursue music as a career?
I mean, I always had a love for music just off of just people I listened to and all that. But my friends and I, since high school, it's like 9th grade, we would just battle each other, write raps, and then I started writing songs. My aunt, she told me to write 100 songs.
Here's another artist.
She told me to write 30
The
songs.
CMG.
She'd take me to the studio to record.
Them has
So
mishandled,
she took me to the studio
strong armed,
song,
intimidated.
Oh,
They did this
come
to
on,
him.
man. Not even an exclusive. You can't get the exclusive.
Never.
That other guy with Black Youngsta,
hobby turned to a habit.
Okay.
Rich Lord and them with that chain, Glizzy.
Myself, and next thing you know, I was like telling my parents that's what I wanted to be. So.
Starlito.
From there, you had your first project, and then from the first project.
These guys look so drained.
So how did the water?
I'm glad
how was
this
that water wet record?
is collapsing. Yeah.
In a minute. But how did that water wet?
It's time to clean and regroup. Seriously, I agree.
Crazy, like I said, I mean, it did way more than I expected it to do, just because I was just making songs in the studio. Like, I just make songs and move on to the next one.
Okay.
And
the industry can't stand talent. No, because they won't. So, and it's funny because these are some of the same people that turned Dolph off against Gotti when he said that Gotti was talking about his artist real bad to try to woo him, persuade him to come to the label. And this was one of the main reasons that turned Gotti off. I mean, Young Dolph off when he was refusing 22 mil because of how he dissed his artists. Yeah.
And then one of his homies sang First ADOLPH, put me on stage, a cameo, the same night that Gotti had made an appearance. And East Coast Rock here. He had knew one of Gotti's folks. They exchanged info, and he sent them the track. And he hit us back and was like, "Yo, we think that joint a hit." Gotti got on the line and said, "What y'all want to do?" I'm like, "What you trying to do?" So he was like, "I'll fly y'all out to Miami right now."
Oh man.
So I mean, under 24 hours, we went from Charlotte to looking at the beach, and then busted it up, came to an agreement, and from there, the rest is history. For that record. Yeah.
All right, so we're about to get into it, right? We're about to jump right
They
into
shipped
it.
him.
Go ahead and permit his water wet record.
Hey, this is Plain James, man, and this song right here is for all the super soakers out there. It's called Water Wet. You feel me? So let's get into it. Drop that drum.
And the
I don't know
next,
about y'all, but my boy Plain James got this water wet record going crazy right now.
and to think they got
So
issues.
we're gonna backtrack a little bit, man. That was the Plain. For those who just not tuning in, it's your boy Cool K. You're not tuned to the plug for
About a men-on-men
I got
activity.
CMG's own Plain James in the building. We're gonna go backtrack a little bit. Fake Music Volume 1. So
Okay, I'm gonna pause on that. Let me get to this one here. Prodigy with Jay-Z. Cause listen, y'all, we can act like what's coming out about Jay-Z ain't true. And we can say that girl lied. Y'all can say that girl lied. Her stories, recount may be off. But the accusations and the lawsuit was not dropped. Y'all do know that, right?
Okay, Jay-Z responds to that.
Y'all do know that lawsuit was not dropped. Whether her stories added up or not, that lawsuit ain't dropped. So, look here, let's listen.
Very curious to see what happens next. But to be clear, what does Tony Busby say about Jay-Z, the artist, the businessman? Well, the complaint begins. Defendant Sean Combs, along with his longtime friend and collaborator, Sean Carter, drugged and raped a 13-year-old girl at an after-party following the 2000 Video Music Awards. Another celebrity stood by and watched as Combs and Carter took turns assaulting the minor. Many others were present at the after-party but did nothing to stop the assault. Combs had been allowed for years to conduct himself in this manner without any consequences. He believes he is above the law. He is not. His close friend Sean Carter has been with Combs during many such instances described herein. Both perpetrators must face justice. So that seems to suggest that Sean Carter, Jay-Z, was not only present or participated in this
one,
alleged,
but others.
Crime,
but others.
For other instances.
Absolutely.
And that's really interesting. That's why I bring up this idea of, could he be hit with more lawsuits if you take these allegations as true?
So let's be clear.
The complaint goes on to say,
it's not just
Combs
about that one girl.
Occasional collaborators in the music industry. Awards. Another celebrity stood by and watched.
Time for Jay-Z.
Took turns assaulting the minor. Many others were present.
It's not just about that one.
Nothing to stop the assault. Combs had been allowed for years to conduct himself in this manner without any consequences. He believes he is above the law. He is not. His close friend Sean Carter has been with Combs during many such instances described herein.
High it factor.
Must face justice. So that seems to suggest that Sean Carter, Jay-Z, was not only present or participated in this alleged, what is essentially a crime, but for other instances. And that's really interesting. That's why I bring up this idea of, could he be hit with more lawsuits if you take these allegations as true? Now, the complaint goes on to say, Combs and Carter were not simply occasional collaborators in the music industry. The two men developed a close friendship that has been well documented from the late 1990s to the present. Together, they attended countless music industry events for each other's business ventures, parties, and after parties. Indeed, the two are apparently so close that Combs stated in 2023 that Carter is the only person other than Combs'
they keep talking about them. Call him
by
Sean.
his legal first name of Sean. In 2000, near the height of their fame, power, and influence, Combs and Carter attended the 2000 Video Music Awards in New York City. Afterwards, Combs hosted an after-party for many of the most famous celebrities in the music and entertainment industries, including Carter, which is where the events alleged in this complaint occurred. And by the way, as an aside, let me also say real quick, it's not just us here at Long Crime that have been covering these Diddy stories and updates for you. Websites all over the internet are grabbing readers with headlines like, Puff Daddy stays in jail for trying to influence witnesses. Woman sues Sean Combs for raping her. And that is exactly where a platform like Ground News comes in. So what they are is a small, which headlines are more objective and which might be skewing the facts. The bottom line that he claims Jay-Z started after Busby reached out about his involvement in the suit.
Hey, Big Pink.
Carter was identified in plaintiff's original complaint as Celebrity A. Prior to the filing of this amended complaint, Carter received a letter from plaintiff's counsel requesting a mediation to resolve this matter. Upon present information and belief, Jay-Z responded to said letter by not only filing an utterly frivolous lawsuit, the one that I mentioned before, but by also orchestrating a conspiracy of harassment, bullying, and intimidation against plaintiffs' lawyers, their families, employees, and former associates in an attempt to silence plaintiff from naming Jay-Z herein. This effort was meant to scare plaintiff and to discredit her counsel. That effort failed. Indeed, plaintiff chose to file this amendment as a result of the egregious conduct perpetuated by Carter.
That intimidation
so for now,
stuff.
Plaintiff has filed as a Jane Doe, keeping her identity as a secret. Jay-Z's legal team has filed a flurry of legal paperwork calling for her to be unmasked so that Jay-Z can face his accuser on an even playing field. We'll see how that shakes out. I actually dedicated a whole other sidebar to that. But for now, we don't know her name. Now, I will say, it is interesting, as we're talking about how close Jay-Z and Sean Combs are, or were, because based on the recent filings from Jay-Z's legal team in response to this lawsuit, there seems to be arguably a distancing of Jay-Z from Sean Combs. Why do I say that?
And
for
Yo
instance,
Gotti
in Jay-Z's
against
effort to say that Jane Doe
him.
should not remain anonymous, they address the argument from Jane Doe where she says, look, I can't reveal my name for security reasons, that Combs has engaged in threats of violence in the past, that if I reveal who I am, I could be in danger. Okay, Jay-Z responds to that by saying, or his counsel responds to that by saying,
Ask Jamie Foxx.
Plaintiff's counsel stresses that other alleged victims he represents have stated that Mr. Combs made threats of violence against them or against the client's family members if the client disclosed to anyone the facts of the sexual assaults. But there is certainly no allegation that Carter ever threatened to harm plaintiff, nor could he, as he has no idea who she is. Or how about this? Those cases concerned Combs, who is under indictment and detained following a raft of criminal and civil allegations against him. But plaintiff has now sought to sully the reputation of Mr. Carter, who has never been accused of misconduct in his 37 adult years. So you're seeing that distancing in a way, at least that's what I saw. Now, going back to the actual complaint here, let's talk about it. So Jane Doe claims that when she was 13 years old, she went to the VMAs, the Video Music Awards in New York City. Now, she said she didn't have a ticket, so she couldn't get into the event, but she walked around outside Radio City Music Hall, where one of the limo drivers for Sean Combs reportedly told her to come back later and that he would take her to a party that Combs was throwing. So Jane Doe claims that when she got there, she had to sign paperwork that she didn't really understand, reportedly some sort of non-disclosure agreement. And she was also allegedly handed a drink at this party, which she believes was drugged. She says she started feeling woozy, she didn't feel right, so she went to find somewhere to lay down. The complaint says Combs entered the room along with defendant Carter and a female celebrity, Celebrity B. Plaintiff immediately recognized all three celebrities. Combs aggressively approached plaintiff with a crazed look in his eyes, grabbed her and said, "You are ready to party." Combs then threw plaintiff toward a wall, causing plaintiff to fall. Plaintiff got up and stumbled, at which point Combs grabbed her again and threw her on the bed. At that point, Carter began removing plaintiff's clothes as she grew more and more disoriented. Jane Doe claims that both Jay-Z and Sean Combs raped her that night before she was finally...
They are always on top of each other, ain't
The
they?
lawsuit says Combs then knocked plaintiff down and attempted to force plaintiff to perform oral sex on him. She fought back, standing up quickly and punching out at the same time, hitting Combs in the neck. Taken aback, Combs stopped his attempt. When Combs backed away in surprise, plaintiff grabbed her clothes and shoes and ran out of the bedroom, holding her dress in front of her like a towel. She ran around the residence until she found the front door and was able to leave the party. Although there were other guests still at the party, no one appeared to take notice of plaintiff's distress or attempted to help her. Once outside, plaintiff put her clothes back on and left the scene in the dark. And she says she was able to make it to a gas station and call for her dad to come pick her up. So this allegedly happened in 2000, by the way. It's now 2024. Hasn't there been a statute of limitations issue? Hasn't the time run out even on a serious claim like this? Well, this is a civil case, not a criminal case, but also Jane Doe is filing under New York City's Gender-Motivated Violence Protection Act, and that provides a look-back window for victims to file these kinds of claims against their alleged abusers. It doesn't even have to be sexual abuse, it just has to be violence that is motivated by gender. So the complaint explains a little bit more how this fits in. It says the requirement that the crime of violence be committed because of gender or on the basis of gender and due at least in part to an animus based on the victim's gender is satisfied because defendants Combs and Carter forced minor plaintiff to engage in a sexual interaction without consent. Jane Doe could not effectively consent because
Thank
of her
you
age. The non-consensual
for
sexual
the
touching of a minor
gifts,
herein
the
presented a
jewels.
serious risk of physical injury and in fact caused such injury. And by the way, Combs and Jay-Z, they aren't the only people named as defendants in this case. The complaint also names several of Combs' businesses, like Bad Boy Entertainment.
They don't
LLC,
talk about that.
Combs Enterprises LLC. The complaint alleges the Combs businesses enabled and conspired with Combs and Carter to commit the crime of violence motivated by gender because Combs and Carter sexually assaulted plaintiff at a party related to or Gender-Motivated Violence Protection Act. And that provides a look-back window for victims to file these kinds of claims against their alleged abusers. It doesn't even have to be sexual abuse. It just has to be violence that is motivated by gender. So the complaint explains a little bit more how this fits in. It says the requirement that the crime of violence be committed because of gender or on the basis of gender and due at least in part to an animus based on the victim's gender is satisfied because defendants Combs and Carter forced minor plaintiff to engage in a sexual interaction without consent. Jane
Thank
Doe
you,
could not
Betty.
effectively consent because of her
Thank
age.
you, Betty.
The
Betty.
non-consensual sexual touching of a minor herein presented a serious risk of physical injury and in fact caused such injury. And by the way, Combs and Jay-Z, they aren't the only people named as defendants.
Yeah, so this is the first time I've heard that it wasn't that the 13-year-old girl was accusing other people, you know, that was included in the lawsuit. Yeah, this is my first time hearing that. So y'all do know other people's names are coming out. This, yeah, just because her story was inconsistent from a 13-year-old mindset doesn't mean that it's going away. Those charges were not dropped. But let's keep listening. So that was from Betty, 10 Jules, and Max sent 10 thumbs up, Jules. Thank you, Max. Thank you, Betty. I greatly appreciate it.
In this case. The complaint also names several of Combs' businesses, like Bad Boy Entertainment LLC and Combs Enterprises LLC. The complaint alleges the Combs businesses enabled and conspired with Combs and Carter to commit the crime of violence motivated by gender because Combs and Carter sexually assaulted plaintiff at a party related to or referencing Combs' business. So for now, the focus of the legal fight for Jay-Z is getting the judge to rule that Jane Doe must reveal her identity or throw out the lawsuit. And by the way, if she has to reveal her identity, there's a chance she might not proceed with this case. Does she want to be public going after both Sean Combs and Jay-Z?
She has to know that she's going to have to go public.
Now, Jay-Z's version of what happened here is that he refused to be what he and his lawyers call extorted or blackmailed by Tony Busby. In fact, in a statement in response to the lawsuit, Jay-Z said in part, quote, "My lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter from a lawyer named Tony Busby. What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle. No, sir. It had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in a very
How much was they trying to blackmail you for, Jay-Z?
One red penny," and also said in his statement, "You have made a terrible error in judgment, thinking that all celebrities are the same." And then later he said,
I don't want to hear that part
showing
no
you
more.
just how different I am. Now, Busby also responded on X denying that this was the case, writing in part, quote, "No one has made any threats. Jay-Z's assertions are bogus and laughable. Instead, our firm sent a standard demand letter seeking a mediation on behalf of a woman who alleges Jay-Z sexually assaulted her as a minor. The letter was vetted and approved by our client, whose preference was to attempt resolution short of filing a lawsuit. This approach is common in these types of cases. What you are seeing played out now is a coordinated and desperate effort to focus the public's attention on me personally to avoid attention on the allegations being made by my clients." And we learned that Jay-Z is also believed to be the John Doe who recently filed a lawsuit anonymously against Tony Busby, claiming
these are so beautiful.
The anonymous is real, ain't it?
I think they
extortion and intentional infliction of emotional distress. We didn't know who it was, but it seems to be that it was Jay-Z. And now
Anonymous.
there is also this heated
John Doe.
forth about whether Jane Doe in this lawsuit should be able to proceed anonymously in her lawsuit. Jay-Z and his legal team are pushing for her to have her reveal herself, partly because they say Jay-Z has a right to know his accuser, to investigate her claims, to challenge her. It's only fair. Busby counters by saying this is highly sensitive material and revealing her identity could cause her further trauma. Also, there is a safety concern about her identifying herself. And now, in an interesting side tidbit, which we'll get into, a woman allegedly reached out to Jay-Z's legal team explaining her experiences with Tony Busby's law firm, where she is essentially claiming that she was dropped as a client when she refused to adopt a sexual assault narrative that the firm wanted her to proceed with. Shocking. I'm going to get into that. But for that and so much more, I have to bring on one of our favorites, renowned litigator, trial attorney Ben Chu, who famously represented Johnny Depp in his very high-profile civil trial against Amber Heard. My goodness. I mean, what do you want to talk about first? You want to first talk about the allegations in the Jay-Z lawsuit before we talk about the legal war that's going on? What do you make of the fact that he has been identified in this case and the allegations against him?
Good morning, Jesse. It's great to see you again. Yeah, these are shocking allegations, and I think he's put out a very forceful statement against them, which I think is a good move, both legally and in terms of PR. You know, assuming, of course, that he is innocent of that. I think these are the kinds of allegations that one would expect someone falsely accused to push back on extremely strongly, which he has now done.
For people who haven't read the complaint, let me just give them a sample. It reads, Combs then threw plaintiff toward a wall. Again, allegedly 13 years old when this happened. Combs then threw plaintiff toward a wall, causing plaintiff to fall. Plaintiff got up and stumbled, at which point Combs grabbed her again and threw her on the bed. At that point, Carter began removing plaintiff's clothes as she grew more and more disoriented. And then the complaint says that Jay-Z raped this 13-year-old, and then Diddy allegedly raped her too. And she claims she actually fought back, hit Combs in the neck, was able to grab her clothes, run out of the room. Ben, could she win a case like this based purely on her testimony? If this is so old, you know, maybe there's no surveillance, maybe there's no text messages, maybe there's no forensics, could she win based purely on her account of what happened?
She could theoretically win if her testimony were especially compelling, but I think you put your finger on one of the real weaknesses, is that these allegations are ancient. One thing that leapt out to me is the allegations also include that there was a witness,
yes,
you know, other than Diddy, who, a female, another woman. Her testimony, and obviously she will be subpoenaed, could be crucial. I mean, if that testimony corroborated the plaintiff's claims, then that would be something that would really be a game changer. But the plaintiff alone,
if it's Beyonce,
face some credibility issues, especially when you have Jay-Z. I mean, Diddy, the allegations are pretty widespread, but there haven't been similar allegations.
She will not testify against her husband.
And that really sets his case apart.
I believe you're referring to Celebrity B, this female celebrity who was in that room. Do you think this person has settled maybe her claims with Tony Busby? What do I mean by that? If she was present, I imagine that Tony Busby might have reached out to her and said, listen, I can file a lawsuit
right
against
or
you
wrong,
too,
good
because
or
of
bad,
you
it
being
appears
there. You were
that the
present, you were a
beast named
witness.
Karma, absolutely a big pink,
do you
has
think
been
that this is a person
unleashed,
who maybe already settled her
and
claims
it's
so that she
aiming
would
for
be
the
a
cream
cooperating
de la
witness,
creme
for Tony Busby's case?
as
I
a
mean,
whole.
tell me how you think that might work.
That would be a brilliant move if that's what Busby did, because otherwise...
Hold on, let me
This
see.
person has settled maybe her claims with Tony Busby. What do I mean by that? If she was present, I imagine that Tony Busby might have reached out to her and said, listen, I can file a lawsuit against you too because of you being there. You were present. You were a witness. Maybe. Do you think that this is a person who maybe already settled her claims so that she would be a cooperating witness for Tony Busby's case? I mean, tell me how you think that might work.
That would be a brilliant move if that's what Busby did, because otherwise he is making really, you know, the worst, the harshest kinds of allegations, and he's signing his name to it. I mean, he referred to his client vetting a demand letter. Well,
thank you,
sure,
Chelsea.
supposed to vet the demand
Thank you
letter
for renewing your membership and
but
getting that star back by your name.
the legal import of that is in the province.
Star power, star power. Give it up for Chelsea for renewing her membership. Yay! Let's go.
To the attorney, so you can't necessarily just hide behind your client. But were he to have made a deal with Celebrity B, that would really backstop both his client and himself in terms of his potential exposure for being involved in frivolous litigation.
I think they asses is in trouble.
You think Celebrity B would take any kind of deal where they have to testify and say, yeah, I was in a room while a 13-year-old was being sexually assaulted, and yeah, I'm not being sued now because I settled my claims. I mean, either way, if this is true and this person knows who Celebrity B was, I can't even imagine, even if they were a cooperating witness of some kind, that they don't look really, really bad from this.
I totally agree. I think that premise is dubious for the reasons you mentioned. I mean, Celebrity B, while it would be a terrible thing not to have reported these crimes, and they're very serious crimes if in fact they were committed, but it's unclear what, if any, civil liability Celebrity B would not have or would have for
yeah, that's why they scared to tell or talk.
I mean, I think the statute.
Oh, it's this picture right here. Oh my God, it's this. But I can't wait to. I can't either. I just can't. Oh, look at he looked like the girl and he looked like the guy. Oh, I feel it. Oh, oh, I feel it. It got hard. Oh, I'm gonna bang, 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 bang. Ain't that how they look? Come on now. Oh, I'm gonna try to. Oh, I can't wait. You ready to go? You ready to go? Oh my goodness, ladies, we know this look. You fools, I'm ready to go. Like y'all don't went out to eat and y'all playing footsies and shit over here. Oh, when I get you in. I mean, he hugging with both hands. Oh my God. Y'all see each other all the time. What is this? Yeah, let me go on past this, baby, because they see each other all the time, biting his lip. I mean, ladies, men, close your ears. This is him saying, I'm gonna be so deep off in the motherfucking guts. And this is us saying, yes, Dad. Meet me in the bathroom. Hey, Brian. Hey, Ryan. This is I don't have no panties on. I just can't get past this. And I mean, they together all the damn. So this ain't like we ain't seen each other in years. This is, oh, I need to feel you. Let me move on past this shit here, because this is faunty to me. This is just too faunty. I can't imagine two men hugging like this, smiling like this, biting Jay don't even blush like that with his wife. Dang, I'm just saying. And why are you grunting and growling and Cause he felt that thing. He felt that thing. That thing done got hard. And somebody thing done got hard. buddies. For real.
Shit. Or factual incentive to make such a deal. I think her incentive would be.
I would be asking for a divorce.
This person knows who Celebrity B was. I can't even imagine, even if they were a cooperating witness of some kind, that they don't look really, really bad from this.
I totally agree. I think that premise is dubious for the reasons you mentioned. I mean, Celebrity B, while it would be
Is probably the B
thing not to have reported these crimes, and they're very serious crimes if in fact they were committed, but it's unclear what, if any, civil liability Celebrity B would not have or would have for not being a good Samaritan. I mean, I think the statute on that, to the extent that there's any liability for not reporting, had long since been passed. So I don't think she would have any legal or factual incentive to make such a deal. I think her incentive would be not to cooperate at all and to deny that she witnessed any such thing.
Right. Let's get into a little bit of this legal warfare that's going on. What do you make of the fact that Busby revealed Jay-Z as Celebrity A based on what he says was a failure to meet on mediation, that this was a standard demand letter? What do you make of his version of events?
Well, I have one problem. I mean, he's right in the sense, as you know, Jesse, that it's standard and it's smart to give a potential defendant an opportunity to settle prior to filing a lawsuit, because at that point the plaintiff would have kind of detonated the grenade and forced the defendant in a position where he almost has to fight. Whereas when you send a demand letter and say that you're interested to talk and settle the matter,
you should have just responded.
That is an appropriate standard thing to do, assuming that you have a legitimate claim. Where I think he's on weaker ground is where he is litigating this in the media and making statements defending himself. One of my mentors,
he's guilty. He jumped the gun.
Never defend yourself, defend your client, and always remember that you're representing yourself. And the only time you answer any allegations against yourself is when a judge is specific to defendant in a position where he almost has to fight. Whereas when you send a demand letter and say that you're interested to talk and settle the matter on a confidential basis, that is an appropriate standard thing to do, assuming that you have a legitimate claim. Where I think he's on weaker ground is where he is litigating this in the media and making statements defending himself. One of my mentors always told me, never defend yourself, defend your client, and always remember that you're representing yourself. And the only time you answer any allegations against yourself is when a judge is specifically asking you to. And I think that Busby crossed that line in the sense that he's now giving press conferences talking about himself and his own actions when he should be representing his client. That's just my opinion, but I think it's unwise for him to get into a PR war.
Do you think that this rises to the level of extortion, as Jay-Z's claims? Because let me read you a portion from one of their filings. To coerce Mr. Carter into compliance, plaintiff and attorney Busby imposed an arbitrary deadline in their extortionate demand letter, warning Mr. Carter that they would take a different course if he did not agree to a confidential
after this, I'm gonna go to Prodigy. Let y'all hear some.
For the deadline provided by the extortionate demand letter to pass, attorney Busby posted on social media that he intended to file a lawsuit naming Mr. Carter and attaching the extortionate demand letter to punish Mr. Carter for seeking redress from a court. All along, Mr. Carter refused to bow to attorney Busby's scheme. Faced with the choice to either pay an exorbitant sum to silence plaintiff's wild, false allegations of sexual assault, risking irreparable harm to his reputation, family, career, and livelihood, or face a barrage of baseless lawsuits and financial ruin, Mr. Carter stood his ground. On November 18, 2024, Mr. Carter filed a complaint against attorney Busby and his law firm for his extortionate conduct. So a little bit what you said about the media, but what do you take about that version of events?
Yeah, I don't have any problem with Busby giving a deadline. You really have to give a deadline. Otherwise, there's no incentive for the potential defendant to ever respond. But what the problem in this scenario is that he didn't give the defendant the full benefit of the deadline. In other words, if you give somebody a deadline, respond by December 27th, you shouldn't say anything until December 27th, unless the defendant has already said, no, we're not going to pay, go ahead and file your lawsuit. So I think if you give somebody a deadline, I think you should honor it. You shouldn't act prematurely. If you go public prematurely, you know, it's a badge of bad faith. Whether it is bad faith or not is open to question, but it's, you know, I think you've got to be true to your word. If you want to give them a deadline, let them have until the deadline.
Also, I want your thoughts real quick on something else, Ben. You know, the idea that Jane Doe should have to reveal her identity, and A, whether or not the court will say she has to reveal her identity, and B, is that the proper move from Jay-Z's camp to do? So there's two sides to this. Busby says in part,
Yeah, Prodigy blasted the Illuminati.
details of
Yep.
sexual assault, her having to reveal that is incredibly traumatic.
And the side that
Any
Jay-Z
attention on this case
chose.
would create a chilling effect from other people coming forward. Combs
Him
has
and his
made
booty
threats of
buddy.
violence in the past, so her, you know, revealing herself could be problematic. Jay-Z argues, look, I have a right to know who my accuser is, to research that person. People won't come over with helpful evidence that can help my case, my defense, if they don't know who this person is. The public has a right to know who she is. She is the one who filed the lawsuit, put her credibility into issue by voluntarily filing a lawsuit. Who's right?
I have fairly strong opinions on this, since I've had several clients who've been in that position, and I think that Jay-Z's counsel is absolutely right on this. If you make serious allegations of this nature, you shouldn't be able to hide behind the shield of anonymity. These are incredibly serious. I mean, to me,
I agree.
I would rather be accused of murder than rape of a child.
I mean, if you can't show who you are,
I think you have to, you have to be revealed. Now, exceptions for that are the ones you mentioned. If this victim or alleged victim were still underage,
yeah, that would be different.
There would be a strong argument for protecting what would be a child.
That would be different.
This is an adult woman at this point.
Right.
Second exception is the one you also referenced, the possibility of violence. Now that's quite real, and I think that's something the judge.
Absolutely, because they do make people disappear.
Any indication that any threats have emanated.
They do make people disappear.
Right.
But absent something like that, a real showing of potential danger should the plaintiff's name be revealed, I think it's absolutely fair for the accuser's name to be mentioned. And the reason why, I think also in terms of the fairness, is that if that person's name is out there, then people may come forward.
Then he was unalive. Absolutely, Chelsea.
I had a case where we did a similar thing, that our client was accused of civilly of sexual battery, and we moved the court to have that adult plaintiff named. The court granted that, and when that happened, we got all kinds of communications from the public at large saying, we know this person. And it turned out that person had a lot of skeletons in his closet. And frankly, we would not have had access out there. Then people may come forward. You know, if there have been other, I had a case where we did a similar thing, that our client was accused of civilly of sexual battery, and we moved the court to have that adult plaintiff named. The court granted that, and when that happened, we got all kinds of communications from the public at large saying, we know this person. And it turned out that person had a lot of skeletons in his closet. And frankly, we would not have had access to that but for, you know, that information being out there. So I think Jay-Z's slightly different situation because he's got a lot of resources and, you know, great lawyers at his
He got a booty buddy with some problems, and he got them problems too.
Should be that a plaintiff should be named.
What does all this mean for Jay-Z? And could there be more lawsuits? Could this lead to criminal charges. So there's a lot to break down with this. But here's the thing. I'm not going to talk about this by myself. I have a special guest, and I have a special guest who is actually with me. First time in studio, somebody who all of you will recognize if you follow us here on Sidebar. We usually have him on Zoom, but now we have him here in person. Renowned criminal defense attorney to the stars, Bradford Cohen is with us. Bradford, good to see you. Thanks so much for coming on. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So we haven't had a chance to talk about the fact that Jay-Z's been named as a defendant in this civil suit. What's your reaction to that?
So, it's interesting because, obviously this civil suit was coming for a while.
Yeah.
And there was some talk between Busby and Jay-Z's lawyers. I think
He said, what? Hold on. What?
What will this mean for Jay-Z?
So when you have that
What gives you that idea? Will recognize if you follow us here on
What
Sidebar.
he
We
say?
usually have him on Zoom, but now we have him here in person. Renowned
She gonna have to
criminal
show
defense
herself,
attorney to the
then go
stars.
straight into federal
Bradford
court.
Cohen is with us. Bradford, good to see you. Thanks so much for coming on. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So we haven't had a chance to talk about the fact that Jay-Z's been named as a defendant in this.
Listen
civil
to what
suit.
he
What's your
just
reaction to
said.
that?
So, it's interesting because, obviously this civil suit was coming for a while.
Yep.
And there was some talk between Busby and Jay-Z's lawyers. I
So it's
think
been coming for a
Busby
while.
And Jay-Z's lawyers are really alphas. So when you have that
What gives you that
combination-
idea?
when you have that combination.
It's been coming
and
for
listen,
a
there's
while.
Many criminal defense attorneys and civil attorneys that I put in under that kind of dome of alphas. And when you have two that are going at each other, especially when it's
So in
contentious,
other
like-
words, Jay-Z just playing in our face. Cause he been knowing, they been knowing, Beyonce and them been knowing. So when Tina Knowles hit that like button, she been knowing. See, it's just new to us. And we saying, oh no, that couldn't, they been knowing. Okay? They been talking. They been knowing. He just went on sent that letter. So Jay-Z is punk faking. And there's more people gonna come out. Y'all please hit the like button. Can y'all please hit the like button for me?
This type of accusation, I think it's not a surprise what's going on. Like in terms of them investigating Busby throwing bombs their way. So I don't see this going away very quickly. And I think that it's not a shock that it came because you knew that Jay-Z and Puffy were close. And when it said
Real
celebrity
close.
One in the original complaint,
Bed sharing
kind of assumed
close.
that it was going to be someone like a Jay-Z. That doesn't mean that those accusations have any bearing whatsoever if they're true or not true, because we haven't seen all of the evidence. It's just the accusations. And as you know, Busby is one of those lawyers that he likes the show, he likes the circus. So I don't know if you can take everything as true in terms of the actual complaint itself, in terms of investigating it. It's just a hard thing to tell because Busby does that. That's what he's known for.
I've seen legal analysts talk about this, and they say Tony Busby, renowned Texas lawyer, he wouldn't go forward with a case like this because when he first came onto the scene in the Diddy case, he said he's gotten an intake of 3,000 calls, but he's been selective about who he's chosen to represent, that he wouldn't represent this Jane Doe in a case against Sean Combs or Jay-Z unless he felt he had the evidence. What do you think about that?
I think when you're in that community and you're friends with a lot of lawyers, they'll always back you up and say, oh, he wouldn't take a case that was BS. Who knows? We won't know until the evidence starts coming out. Jay-Z seems very, very adamant that this didn't take place. He says, go to the police, go talk to the police. If you think that there's something that happens and file a police report.
I'll get to that in a second. He can't settle at this point, right? I mean, you tell me. Some people say, I'm going to fight this, and then they end up settling. But look what happened with Sean Combs. He settled the Cassandra Ventura lawsuit the day after it was filed. They did a whole episode on was it a mistake for him to even allow that to be filed. At this point, he can't risk settling because it'll look like an admission, right?
Yeah, I think that there's a couple things going on. So some inside baseball, when Sean Combs was negotiating that, I spoke to some lawyers that were involved, and I was like, even if the accusations are false, there's two ways to go about these cases. Either one, you do the economic analysis.
Camel.
Right? What is this going to cost me? Where is it going? How much am I going to lose? All these different things, even if it's false, right? How much is it?
You talking about Jay-Z?
right? And then you decide whether or not you want to do that. The second way to that, and I call this the Sparta route, that's number 2. The Sparta route is you go all out and go to war. Right. There's no in between there. Mr. Miyagi always says, walk on one side of the road, you're safe. Walk on the other side of the road, you're safe. Walk in the middle, you get squashed. And that's what happened to Sean Combs, right? So he kept saying, like, listen, I'm not paying. This is Sparta.
He got about, damn. Was that back, oh, dang. Is that bacteria on the back of his tongue way back there? Oh, Lord, why did I look at that?
After it was filed, they did a whole episode on was it a mistake for him to even allow that to be filed. At this point, he can't risk settling.
Where's that?
Like admission, right?
Yeah, I think that there's a couple things going on. So some inside baseball. When Sean Combs was negotiating that, I spoke to him. And I was like,
he need a tongue scraper.
There's 2 ways to go about these cases. Either one, you do the economic analysis, right? What is this going to cost me?
Oh my God.
How much am I going to lose? All these different things, even if it's false, right? How much are the attorneys going to cost me, right? And then
so that means his breath is funky.
The second way to that, and I call this the Sparta route, that's number 2. The Sparta route is you go all out and go to war. Right. There's no in between there. Mr. Miyagi always says, walk on one side of the road, you're safe. Walk on the other side of the road, you're safe. Walk in the middle, you get squashed. And that's what happened to Sean Combs, right?
Is that our way in the back? What is that? Is that is that like bacteria on his girl, go off or you throw up? Oh my God.
So he kept saying, like, listen, I'm not paying. This is Sparta. I'm not paying. I'm not going to pay her a dime. Then she files, and then the next day he pays. So that's the worst case scenario because then it's just open season on Sean Combs. And that's what happened. So Jay-Z should learn something from that. His lawyers are not the type that would say, okay, let's settle now. I don't see that ever happening. Yeah. I think he will spend whatever it takes to make sure that his name is cleared, or at least make the attempt to make sure his name is cleared. And I don't think there is a budget to that.
I want to read you something. So this is something from the amended complaint. It reads, Combs has been allowed for years to conduct himself in this manner without any consequences.
Oh my goodness, that was
above the law.
He think he'll,
close
Jay-Z think he above the law.
Has been with Combs during many such instances described herein. Both perpetrators must face justice. If we're thinking about the bigger question here, Bradford, he seems to be indicating there are multiple alleged instances of misconduct revolving around Jay-Z. Does that mean that he is prepared to file more lawsuits against him with more Jane or John Does? If that were the case, because then you're entering into Sean Combs territory, who there was the Cassandra Ventura lawsuit, and then there was lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit.
There you go.
So I think what he's saying is,
if you don't brush your tongue, you don't brush your oh my goodness.
Lawsuits are like playing poker. Like you want to, even when you feign, that you have strength, it could be that you have some weakness in your case. So Busby's never going to say that he doesn't have the evidence. I mean, Busby's always going to say he's got the evidence. He's always going to say, oh, we're going to look at multiple other people. We're going to do all this because he wants to put that fear into that individual because he thinks these individuals have done it. In his mind, he thinks these individuals have done multiple, even if he doesn't have the evidence now, he thinks he can develop that evidence, through discovery, through pictures, through other people seeing it. So what he does is he files the first lawsuit, in my opinion. He files the first lawsuit. That first lawsuit, he has some evidence towards whatever it is. And he's hoping people see, oh, wait, Jay-Z, there's a crack in the wall. And then all of a sudden he gets another 3 calls, 4 calls. Hey, this was what, right. So, and that's how these cases go. And that's why he makes them so public. That's why he makes all these statements. That's why he goes on these shows. Because he wants other people to say, hey, I was in a room with Jay-Z and I did this.
Oh, wow.
Wow. You have to shake those
now, that looked a little suspect too, didn't it?
Seen to put that fear into that individual because he thinks these individuals have done it. You know, in his mind, he thinks these individuals have done multiple, even if he doesn't have the evidence now, he thinks he can develop that evidence, you know, through discovery, through pictures, through other people seeing it. So what he does is he files the first lawsuit, in my opinion. He files the first lawsuit. That first lawsuit, he has some evidence towards whatever it is. And he's hoping people see, oh, wait, Jay-Z, there's a crack in the wall. And then all of a sudden he gets another 3 calls, 4 calls. Hey, this was what, right. So, and that's how these cases go. And that's why he makes them so public. That's why he makes all these statements. That's why he goes on these shows.
It's going to be a Jay-Z hotline. Look at her.
Say, hey,
Look at her.
With Jay-Z, and I did this. And, you know, all the...
Oh, wow. I just can't catch it.
So what he does is he files the first lawsuit, in my opinion. He files the first
he got, oh man, I wanted to
evidence towards whatever it is.
Did he get jealous of this?
Jay-Z, there's a crack in the wall. And then all of a sudden he gets another 3 calls, 4 calls. Hey, this was what, right. So, and that's how these cases go. And that's why he makes them so public. That's why he makes all these statements. That's why he goes on these shows. Because he wants other people.
Okay, so here go another girl on his arm, looking over at him like she in love. Y'all, what's going on? Who turning out who? It's the googly eyes for me. She ain't biting her lip, but she damn sure looking at him with love. Y'all, what is this? The dated Beyonce cousin for years. He dated Beyonce cousin. That's the best friend, Tata. She looking at him like he is singing Anita Baker's You Give Good Love to me. Oh, that's Whitney's song. That's Whitney's song. You give good love, baby. Y'all, I'm just. No, who is she? Was you cheating on Sean Combs with her? When did this love affair? How many Beyonce could never compete with these men? Like I mean, Lord. I wouldn't be surprised. Now, I'm just saying all this love with you and these men. Hell, Beyonce may have gave a witness statement and gave her account to what she saw up in that room that night. Hell, she can't compete with all this meat and shit hanging. She can't compete with the men. And then instead of you making passionate love to your wife, hell, you want to play with a little girl. And if you ain't playing with little girls, you playing with the big boys.
To say, hey, I was in a room with Jay-Z and I did this, and you know, all those have to be, you know, you have to shake those out. Everyone's going to want a piece, and if you've seen the past lawsuits that have been filed, some are
Madison Square Garden
lawsuits.
Baby, this is the year of expository
filed against Sean Combs. I mean, I've read some that are just horrible. You know, in terms of like just the allegations, they haven't really put forth a lot of evidence, a lot of facts, a lot of dates. Some are better than others. And the Busby ones, he tries to put in as much salacious information as he can because he knows that will put more blood in the water and that will get more people out.
The problem with Sean Combs is, you know, there was lawsuit after lawsuit, there was lawsuit, and then there was the criminal charges. But even before there was the criminal charges, there was the video, the 2016 videotape that was released of him beating Cassandra Ventura. So when that came out, it looked like every one of these allegations is true. I mean, there's most people will say Sean Combs right now is guilty until proven innocent.
Correct.
And hell, we assume that Solange was beating that ass in the elevator because that video has resurfaced how she was kicking the dog shit. Hell, you better be glad she didn't have on them steel toe Timberlands that I be telling everybody to go get, because she was kicking and swinging on that ass. Hell, and now with all these allegations, the shit that's coming out, hell, it may not have been a female you was cheating. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say that. Oh, okay.
It's more people coming down the pipe.
Yeah, and that video was really a turning point.
I wanted to add something to this. So it
Oh
was
my
revealed
goodness.
that Jay-Z had actually sued Tony Busby anonymously, claiming he was extorting the rapper. You settle or I will sue you for what Jay-Z claims are false allegations. And in his lawsuit against Tony Busby, and again, we didn't know it was Jay-Z at the time, now we seem to do, there was this statement. Plaintiff John Doe is the victim of a scheme by defendant Anthony G. Busby and his firm, the Busby Law Firm, who are shamelessly attempting to extort exorbitant sums from him or else publicly file wildly false, horrific allegations against him. Defendants have threatened to unleash entirely fabricated and malicious allegations of sexual assault, including multiple instances of rape of a minor, both male and female, against plaintiff if he refuses to comply with their demands. So, Bradford, does that mean that Busby, again, going back to this idea, he seems to have indicated, Jay-Z, that Tony Busby came forward that I don't just have Jane Doe, I have more people too, right?
Yeah, I think
that's a little bit of opening of the curtain there.
There is. I think that he came forward with multiple individuals, or saying that he had multiple individuals. I think that was the demand letter that was first sent. And when you represent individuals,
Don't forget him and Diddy carrying packages.
Right? And some people
carrying packages.
Some people that they don't have no idea that I represented.
Carrying packages.
Sometimes we'll get these letters, not necessarily.
Oh well, yeah, he burnt. He burnt
assault and things like that. But
you talking about 3-letter packages?
Hurt, and then they send a demand letter saying
4 letters.
This is what happened, XYZ. Normally the demand letters are pretty plain Jane. This one sounds a little bit different in terms of the accusations that were made, in terms of the amount of money that was sought. We don't know exactly. I think that he attached one of the demand letters to one of the filings, Mr. Busby did. So I think that's where this is all coming from in terms
you got a package, man?
Where these names are and who they are, obviously, is going to be very important. Because then you can start kind of investigating those individuals and seeing.
You got that nasty man's disease.
This is the part that we haven't had a chance to talk about. I wanted to ask you about potential criminal charges, because when this lawsuit came out, I'm going to lay it out here. So Jay-Z posted
our letters,
and aside from saying that Busby basically tried to blackmail him, and his lawyer has called this extortion. But there's this statement.
Oh my God.
A lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter from a lawyer named Tony Busby. What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle. No, sir, it had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in a very public fashion. So no, I will not give you one red penny. But then he also says, these allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? These alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case. The issue is that even possible? Is that a little disingenuous? Because could she even file a criminal complaint? Tony Busby apparently told TMZ that Jane Doe is not ruling out filing a criminal complaint, saying, what happens next is up to my client, and what she decides to do, you will find out in due course. But
that's that reverse psychology. Reverse psychology.
Make it not even a possibility. I say that if we imagine this to be third-degree rape of a minor, that it was 5 years
narcissistic.
I believe that was maybe changed
way of intimidating.
And the clock doesn't run until you're no longer a minor. But even if you calculate that, I think it's still too old of a claim. You're talking about something from 24 years ago.
You know that.
I've seen
you just creating a narrative.
There was a change in the law, which there apparently was in New York, and the statute of limitations were removed for a certain sex crime, that can't be applied retroactively. Constitutionally, it wouldn't be allowed. Now, Nima Rahmani, who's a frequent legal analyst here on Sidebar, told Fox News, when Jay-Z tells the victim and Busby to file criminal charges, that's a red herring. Your thoughts?
It can be. I don't know. Honestly, like I was doing this analysis as well.
Yeah.
Like whether or not you can relate it back, whether or not there could be charges that could be filed. I think that letter from Jay-Z, like, listen, Jay-Z, as much money as he has, Jay-Z's a street guy, right? And he doesn't take this lightly. And I do think that he's never going to settle. I think he's going to go to war and take this as far as he can. Do I think it's disingenuous for him to say, hey, go file a criminal complaint? I think in his mind, he might not know what the statute of limitations is. He might not know whether or not she can file.
Well, he should have did his
might be
research.
honestly saying, like, listen, go to the police, file a police report. And here's the thing. Even
That's
if
just
the statute of limitations
sarcasm.
doesn't stop her from filing a police report, doesn't stop her from giving a statement to the police, it still backs up some things. And don't forget, in federal court, he could still be swept up into a RICO.
Absolutely. Why he playing that game?
Place over time, and all of those would relate back. So if it's a federal crime, I mean, they're looking at
why he playing.
And I do think
why he playing. He is forgetting about RICO. Y'all, that's the problem.
Do I think it's disingenuous for him to say, hey, go file a criminal complaint? I think in his mind, he might not know what the statute of limitations is. He might not know.
Put his foot in his mouth.
And he might be honestly saying, like, listen, go to the police, file a police report. And here's the thing. Even if the statute of limitations ran, it doesn't stop her from filing a police report. It doesn't stop her from giving a statement to the police. It still backs up some things. And don't forget, in federal court, he could still be swept up into a RICO. There could be other sorts of actions that took place over time, and all of those would relate back. So if it's a federal crime, I mean, they're looking at Diddy for things that occurred way out of the statute of limitations because it's almost like a RICO, right? So they're relating it back in time and saying this is an
oh, she look girly right there. Oh, she had that wig on the night before.
So when he says go to the police, file a police report, he could be swept up if it's true. He could be swept up into the Sean Combs stuff. So I don't think he's being disingenuous by it because, yeah, maybe in state court that might be true that it can't be filed on, but in federal court, if
it could
part of an ongoing conspiracy and your co-conspirator was arrested, then they can still sweep you up into it.
I remember the Jeffrey Epstein case. He was charged federally with
why everybody
back in the
why everybody is stroking his ego.
Jay-Z is sued by
he gonna mess around and put his foot in his mouth.
Be more of a reality.
Correct. And like I said, I don't think if it was a red herring, it would mean like, okay, there's no chance, right? In my opinion, when it's a red herring, that means there's no chance that there could be. And I honestly think there could be a chance if someone made a police report and they felt that it was an ongoing criminal conspiracy with Sean Combs or with anyone else, they could sweep all of those up into a federal charge.
Now, Bradford, before we talked a little
bit so before I go, because I don't need to hear any more of that. That's all I needed to hear. Cause I know it ain't just over. It ain't just over. His lover, his male lover, is a part of human trafficking. And it's just the bottom line. And he is involved in that human trafficking. And people may not want to look at it like that. Yeah, but I'm not giving him no pass. I'm not giving him no pass. It's people scared of them. You know, they threaten people. And these rappers, these they're not removing themselves from people. Jay-Z not removing himself from Sean Combs, and Gotti ain't removing himself from Jay-Z for no reason. Believe that. Y'all, can we get the likes up? Like, share, subscribe, join the membership. You can send a cash app. You can do a super sticker. You can send some jewels with the gift box down at the bottom by the smiley face and the $sign. Let's listen before we go, because I'm not going to be here long. We're going to listen to Prodigy. And rest in peace to him, because he's no longer here. But he did some exposure of the dark side of Jay-Z, and after he did that, he was eliminated. You know what I mean? Can y'all hit the like button? Are y'all still with me? Chat not moving. Are y'all still with me? Can y'all give me a 1 or a thumbs up? Let me know y'all still with me. Oh yeah, we having church ain't going nowhere. Tea sippers, are you with me? Oh yeah, we sipping tea, ain't going nowhere. Can I get some indication that y'all still with me before I go to this last video? Brian said, I'm with you, baby. He said, I'm with you, baby. I'm with you. I'm right here with you. I ain't going nowhere. Woo! I'm finna move this over here. So this is an interview. Let's go. Let's listen.
Sisters to Table Talk. Today we have an interesting hot topic for you.
Can y'all hear?
Yeah. Today's hot topic is going to be on, once again, Prodigy from Mobb Deep and Jay-Z. Now, why I'm bringing this situation up again? Because I showed you guys a letter that Prodigy wrote before that was talking about Jay-Z and talking about the affiliations that he had as far as the government was connected to.
Who?
For that was talking about Jay-Z and talking about the affiliations that he had as far as the government and corrupt and wicked leadership that Jay-Z was connected to, right? Prodigy talks about how he read about these things, he knew about these things, but he never decided to take that route. Next thing we know, Prodigy died. Wow. Crazy thing is, though, Prodigy, this is the first time I ever seen him, I ever heard him talking about it. Talking about Jay-Z taking that route on camera. You can hear his voice talking about it, right?
Now, how did Prodigy die? Hey, the teacher.
He was part of that community.
How did Prodigy die? What happened to him?
On camera. You can hear his voice talking about it, right? Let's check it out.
He was part of that community, the Dr. York community, you know what I mean? And he had learned all that information that York was putting out, and all the information that I know, you know what I mean? Jay-Z was learning that also, so he knows what time it is, you know what I mean? He's chosen a side, you know what I mean? And the side that he chose is money, power, and, you know, he doesn't really care to spread any type of information that might help save somebody's soul.
Say they what?
No matter how hard.
Say they what? They soul. They say he choked on the
He's
egg
saying Jay-Z.
in the hospital. So somebody stuffed the egg down his throat? How you choke on the egg? I mean,
that might help save somebody's soul.
He's saying Jay-Z knows about the money, the power, everything that goes on as far as, you know, ritualistic things and the higher up, and Jay-Z does not care. He wants to take the money route. He doesn't care about human beings' soul. He wants to take the money route. He doesn't care about human beings' souls. Doesn't care about these type of things. Now, Prodigy also was talking about how, you know, he read up on different things and such. I have another clip of him as well.
You're gonna start hearing more rounds about the government, politics, about crooked is in this world, and I'm exposing everybody. I don't give a no more. Basically,
Now, Here you have two individuals that know about similar things, right? One individual took the route to expose it, go against it. Jay-Z took the route to join it.
Right.
Right? Now let's play one clip, last clip before we get to the panel, of Jay-Z kind of talking about religion himself.
You know,
What's the science? What's today's mathematics?
Yeah, by the way, this isn't even my chain. I stole it from somebody. Yeah, I'll tell y'all who that was off camera.
Uh-oh. The science. What's today's mathematics?
Yeah, by the way, this isn't even my chain. I stole it from somebody. Yeah, I'll tell y'all who that was off camera.
Uh-oh.
Stealing chains now? It's gonna be a world star.
Not really stealing.
Does it mean anything to you, though?
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I don't like the conversation either. I call myself the God because I feel like it sometimes. I study little lessons, but I'm not into all, you know.
Yeah. Religion is like a personal computer, you know. You let people in if you want to.
But in Long Island, they had the gods and the earths. You know, like the 5% nation, the Nation of Islam. It's not the same thing, but affiliated in a way. It always was intriguing to me because they was out there hustling and doing their thing, but at the same time they had a lot of.
So pretty much, Jay-Z, he's saying,
Hey,
you know,
Patricia.
religion is like a personal computer, you let people in. But we've seen different things that he believes because of his different songs. On his song, State of Empire with Alicia Keys, he says in the third verse that Jesus can't save you. In his song, Family Feud, he says, I told my wife the spiritual stuff really works. Now, which spiritual stuff is he talking about if he said that Jesus can't save you?
That's right.
We also seen him wearing a different sweater. Do what thou wilt. You know, he's talking about the satanic law. Do what thou wilt. Love is love. You know what I mean? He's quoting Aleister Crowley. Different things that we seen him in a different Masonic temple. Different things that Jay-Z is a part of has got him where he's at right now in the game.
Yeah.
And that is one of the biggest individuals with one of the biggest individuals as his wife.
Right.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, for sure. Even when he asked him about that, what's up with that chain, you know, everything has symbolism behind it. You have to know that if somebody wants to understand about religion, religion has symbolism. So if you want to know what Jay-Z's doing, then search up that chain. What does that chain even mean?
Right.
Even when he asked him about, he got real uncomfortable. Like, you know, if I want to let you in, I'll let you in. But back to what you were saying, like what he promotes. Like what he promotes is definitely demonic stuff. You got to understand, this guy knows what he's doing. He's not oblivious to what he's doing.
So Jay-Z promotes demonic stuff and rituals.
There's certain levels to this. The same way in the kingdom, there's levels. There's different levels in the kingdom. You have like a teacher, evangelist, a pastor, apostle, prophet. The highest level is to be an apostle, but you have to sacrifice in order to get there. So how much more in the kingdom of darkness that there's levels too? Like Satan copies everything that God has. Right. He has hosts. He has demonic hosts. He has rankings. He has principalities, powers, and rulers, and they operate that way. So
right.
I believe that Jay-Z is one of those ones. He might not be one of the biggest ones, but he's definitely one of those ones that...
One of the biggest puppets, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. All he is he's a mascot.
Sure.
He's definitely a mascot for that stuff, and you know what? Everybody loves the mascot. When you see the football game, everybody love the mascot, but the one who making the plays is not even the coach, the owner of the team. So I believe he's the mascot, and you have a lot of people who are just in the field. The people who are in the field are low-level people. They're getting by check by check, game by game, but they're getting bruised up. But then you have the mascot, but then you have the owner. Now the owner is the one that's behind closed doors pulling the strings. So I believe there are some real powerful people that he's representing, and even when you look at the Rockefeller stuff and the stuff that he throws up, all the symbolism, all the signs lead to him being illuminated. Now he's not illuminated by the right illumination, but there is the light that he has is it's dark light. It's definitely so he has some knowledge. Okay, amen. It's the knowledge of good and evil. He has some knowledge, and he has chose, okay, this is good, this is evil. Well, I'm going to do evil, and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability that I can. And that's what he's chosen to do. That's what Jay-Z has chosen.
Wow.
Yeah,
so for me to hear Prodigy died choking on an egg reminds me of Pimp C death. Just bizarre. Like somebody done came in his room, stuffed the egg in his mouth and put a pillow over his head. Some crazy shit. Cause why you just could cough an egg? I mean, is it a whole egg, a piece of an egg? Yeah. Okay. All right. Sounds pretty evil to me. There's a very dark side to Jay-Z. It sounds like just about everybody know it in the industry. So why are we acting like it's far-fetched for him to be playing with little girls' cookies? Come on, y'all.
for sure. All the things that we see come out about these big artists and these big people in the Hollywood industry. You don't even have to be an artist, actor, all that. All that stuff's coming out. And it's true about a lot of those things like P. Diddy and everything that's coming out. Knowing the level that Jay-Z is at and the height that he's at, like, there's inevitably some stuff that he's involved into.
I agree.
And many
rituals.
people have called it out.
Already.
Kanye West has even spoke on it. Many people have said this.
Because Kanye was in it. That's why. Kanye was doing it with
Exactly.
it. Right.
Exactly. So,
Until they flipped on Kanye.
Fingers are pointed at him
Kanye.
often, but it doesn't go far. Like, there needs to be more of an investigation for sure. More people to come out, because I know there's plenty more people that know what they be doing behind the scenes that just need to come out and expose this stuff. He's not innocent. He calls himself Jehovah. He calls himself God.
Right.
Beyonce just started calling herself what? Beezus.
Beezus.
She copying Kanye.
Right. So you already.
Beyonce call herself Beezus.
Now she copying Kanye.
Right.
Kanye.
Right. So you already know. I mean, you know what's out there.
Kanye.
Right. So you already know. I mean, you know what side they're on. Obviously.
Ain't that's a demon name?
What? Beezus?
Jesus.
No. It's like, you think it's all about it.
I don't know if that's a demon name.
That might be a demon name. Let me search that up.
Oh, wow.
Sasha Fierce.
Yeah.
She said that she feels something come into me. Next thing we know, she talking about wiping her time of the month for pages of the holy book.
Right.
That's the spiritual stuff he was talking about.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely dangerous even listening to them. You know, we know that Beyonce is part of the Yoruba religion. You know what I mean? Where she actually thinks she's Oshun.
Oh yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Like,
she can strong delusion.
crazy thing is Oshun was said to have twins as well. So how deep are they getting into the spiritual?
Come on.
You know, we know
Yep.
Beyonce just had twins. But, you know, these people be at these altars feeding these false gods food.
Yeah.
Food ain't going nowhere, just rotten.
Thank you.
Just getting rotten.
Unless somebody coming to eat it.
You know, and then you talk about it, we talk about it. And listen, I'm talking so the Christians who call themselves Christians can come out of a place of listening to this nonsense that they're listening to. Because they're coming into agreement with something that they do not understand.
Yep.
You know, you say that you are walking with God or you are a Christian, but then you're listening to Beyonce, you're listening to Kehlani, you're listening to Summer Walker, you're listening to these individuals who have different gods and are making love songs to their God.
Wow.
So you're singing these love songs, not even realizing that you're singing to a false God.
Wow. Into agreement.
It's time to have knowledge, ladies and gentlemen, because you perish without it.
Hosea 4:6.
And not even that, but they're mocking the God that you follow.
Right.
Above all else, they're literally
I can't never
defiling the name of
I
God.
ain't never heard
calling
that.
themselves God, calling themselves Jesus, saying, wiping their stuff with holy pages. Like, they're mocking your God. There's no reason anyone who serves the living God or believes in the living God should listen to those people. Absolutely not. And if you're listening to them, then you are, yes, coming to agreement, but you're also, what is it called when you're co-signing? Co-signing. Yeah, like you're co-signing what they're doing. You're cooperating with it. Like exactly.
You're the one that's buying the tickets. You're the one that's listening to the album. It's you.
Right. If you're in the same car, you're going to jail too.
That's right.
Exactly. You're helping them get bigger and grow more and become more famous and get more money and get more influence. So
and you said something that was very key. You're helping them, right? Because I've seen a Beyonce video, and you got to understand, she's putting out some wicked stuff. I even seen men that turned into women following her, and they follow her everywhere she go. Like a man that used to be a man is a woman down at a concert, and he's having a full-blown demonic possession, worshiping to this God that she represents. So like you said, it is on you. If you are buying the tickets and you're a Christian, shame on you.
Hold on, y'all.
Beyonce that called herself Jesus.
Get YouTube Music Premium.
She called
It has
herself.
a toggle thingy.
Now was it just straight out Jesus? I'm Jesus? No, ladies and gentlemen. Just like Jay-Z calls himself Jehovah, she went and said, I don't even know if anybody even knows this, because it's not even being talked. I haven't seen it talked about yet. Are we the first people talking about this? I think we're the first people talking about this. It just slipped right through the corner. It just slipped right through the cut. Just like when Jay-Z said Jesus can't save you, you just slipped right through the cup. Oh my goodness. She called herself Beysus, ladies and gentlemen, on her song Love Happy. Actually, the Carters, I guess. Let's just go through the lyrics real quick, and I'm gonna show you guys her saying it, right? On the lyrics, I let my wife write the will. I pray my children outlive me. First of all, who's Jay praying to? Who's Jay praying
Are y'all listening?
Boy, oh boy, these witches and warlocks.
He is on her. Hold on.
I don't even think you guys understand. I've had enough.
Love Happy.
With these
The
witches
Carters.
and warlocks. I mean, I've had it up to here.
It's in the song.
People are really brainwashed and manipulated by these individuals. May their kingdom come falling and crashing down in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach.
What in the world? Where is it? Let me.
It's disturbing. Now
Are y'all listening?
all the way to the bottom real quick, ladies.
Oh, there you go. I see it. I see
The
it.
glass house still throwing stones.
I see it.
Hova Beysus.
I see it down here, y'all. BEYSUS. Hova and Beysus. Watch the thrones. Y'all. Y'all. Oh my God. Let's keep listening. Wow. It's in a song. Oh my God. So could it have been her sitting there watching what was happening? Wow.
Her saying it, right? On the lyrics, I let my wife write the will. I pray my children outlive me. Who, first of all, who's Jay praying to?
It was her.
Who's Jay praying to? Boy, oh boy, these witches and warlocks, I've had enough. You guys understand. I've had enough with these witches and warlocks. I mean, I've had it up to here. People are really brainwashed and manipulated by these individuals. May their kingdom come falling and crashing down in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. It's disturbing. Now let's go down all the way to the bottom real quick, ladies and gentlemen. In a glass house, still throwing stones, Hova Beysus, watch the thrones. Hova Beysus, watch the thrones. Now, why does it even matter? Why do I even care? Why do I get to the point where I say enough is enough? Why? Because they keep playing with the scriptures. Check out the wordplay right here, right? Hova Beysus, watch the thrones. Jehovah Jesus, watch the thrones. What thrones? Well, they're playing with scripture. You know Hova likes to play with scriptures. Just like on the DJ Khaled song, he was talking about Psalms, the book of Psalms, but he called it, the book of Hov. Different things like that. Like it's playing with scripture. Playing with the Lord. He's playing with the Lord even
in our face.
To his name. Right? Now what thrones? Revelations 3:21. So the one who overcomes, I will grant the right to sit with me on my throne. Just as I overcame and sat down with my Father on his throne. You realize it's thrones when it comes to them. It's Hova, it's Beysus, Jehovah, Jesus. Thrones when it comes to them. If y'all not putting the pieces of puzzles together yet, I just don't know what to tell you. You have stepped into a place of worship and it's disgusting. You need to come out of it. If that ain't enough, let's go to the book of Hov.
The book of
Show you
who?
guys something real quick. It's just for those who are still in unbelief. The book of Hov.com, for crying out loud. My goodness. In the last month of the last year of the 60s, Sean Carter was born in Brooklyn. He soon unleashed a verbal genius that transcended colors, generations, cultures, and nations, spreading his name to every part of the globe. He was often called Hov, short for Jehovah, a play on Jehovah, the Hebrew name for God. The book of Hov.com. Quit beating around the bush. Quit making excuses up for these satanic individuals.
I agree.
Quit it.
I agree.
It's in your face.
I agree. I agree.
It's in your face. Hov produced a heavenly. Ain't it funny?
Oh, wow.
Hov produced a heavenly, so Jehovah produced a heavenly body of work while driven by what seemed a divinely, ain't that like divinely directed destiny. Boy, oh boy, the word play.
In your face.
Truly perverted.
And then they want to act like he ain't capable of molesting a 13-year-old. He don't believe in God. He think he God. Just like Sean Combs. They lovers.
Beyonce worshiping this woman. This is her own show. You think this isn't a ritual of worship? You think that...
Oh, wow.
Y'all getting me started right now.
Okay, yeah. That's... Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I can't believe. I'm not saying it happened, but I damn sure can't believe it was her who was sitting there watching and filming. But Jesus. He Hova and she but Jesus. Oh, wow. Karma is spinning the bin, baby. Karma has come to collect. Y'all, wow. I think that's a bit much. I think this is a good place to stop for tonight. I don't know how you follow behind this. They are playing in our face. This is why these people have these satanic looks on their face. I've heard it more than once where he would look at them, these people in that house with these freakouts would look at them with these black looking eyes, like just satanic. Oh, I wonder, did a Prodigy say anything else? Oh, wow, y'all, this is heavy to me. I can for the fame. You can for the fame. What you mean, Patricia? Thank you, Leticia. Thank you for the clapping seals. 250 jewels. Thank you. Y'all, that's heavy. Let me go back over here. Just in case before I go, I want to let this play on out. I don't want to miss anything. Let's go back over here.
That you are not boycotting Beyonce. Shame on you that you are still letting that poison affect you and your family. Shame on you that you do not want the knowledge so you will not perish, but instead you rather let this stuff poison you.
Right. Sad thing is, too, you got a lot of different individuals who are still acting on what was old with Beyonce.
It for the fame.
You know what I mean? You gotta let the old girl realize what she's doing now. The old her, the little girl in church, that's somebody different than who she is now.
She in the black magic. She
gone. Right. She's operating out of she's operating out of a different spirit that is not the Holy Spirit.
Didn't you make a video of like her backup singer, was it, that came out?
Yeah, Kimberly Thompson, her backup drummer.
Come on now.
Filed a lawsuit against her for extreme witchcraft. And now that lady can't do anything in the business. She can't. She can't get hired anywhere.
Another
Her chicken was killed. All kind of different things. Like the lady looks stressed out. I have a whole video on her on my channel. You know what I mean? She looks like she's had enough. Enough is enough.
Help. She need life.
At this point.
And the thing is, I think that's super important to take note of, especially as Christians or believers, is the fact there's two types of ignorances. So it's like there's the genuine ignorance, like, oh, you just don't know till you know.
Yeah.
All right, bet. But if you're coming across content like this, you can't help but see it. So now you're accountable for what you know. But then there's an aspect where it's a willful ignorance. And those types of quote-unquote Christians, that's a slippery slope you don't want to be entangled with, because then you develop a seared conscience. Kind of like at the beginning of the clip, I forget who was speaking. I don't know if it was Mobb Deep or Prodigy, thank you.
There she goes. He's a part of Mobb Deep, yeah.
Gotcha. And how he was saying that, Jay-Z's aware of this and he doesn't care about the souls.
Right.
There's so much damage that takes place with this. And Jay-Z in himself, he has a seared conscience. Like, his soul is just wicked at this point.
Absolutely.
So there's so many layers and so many levels in which you have to clock it. And on a surface level, if you're a Christian listening to these types of artists, stop.
Stop. Like, realize,
don't go over into a delusion.
you're helping to push these artists further and higher and higher and higher. You're enabling them. You're literally funding them. You know what I'm saying? And you're coming into covenant just by listening to their music.
Yeah.
They're putting spells on you through their music.
Right.
And you're coming into covenant with it. Covenant is a marriage. So look at it this way, right? All demons are going to hell, right? So if you're in agreement or in a covenant with any demon or any spirit that's not of God, and the Lord comes back and all those demons go, guess what? You're one with that demon. So your soul is going with it.
And you can't have the excuse of, I didn't know. Well, you did. You chose not to know.
That's why we're here to tell you.
That's right. Ezekiel 3.
I didn't know.
Okay, y'all.
It's gonna be just like that. I didn't know. It's gonna be like that for the rest of eternity. No. Burnt up.
And that's a scary place to be.
Hear the voice crying out. Hear the voice crying out.
Yeah. No, but what you were saying about Jay-Z, by the way, I don't know. I'm just gonna up my clip and shoot at him. You know, y'all know me. I get real. I get real military-ish. I go and grab my gun.
Militant.
Today I was at the gun
that boy
range
get
today,
militant.
by the way. And I'm like, madman, crazy soldier. I go up and I come down peacefully. And that Red Bull gave me wings, and I ain't talking about the drink either. Hey, man.
That's right.
You know what I mean? That's a red heifer gave me.
Come on.
Listen.
If you know, you know.
Yeah. Jay-Z, listen, check me out, man. Check me out. I have a problem with you. Because you know what you're doing. You are leading people astray. Today is your judgment day. Today, when you hear this message, when somebody around you tell you, say, hey, go check out Isaiah Roberts' podcast. They talking about you. When you hear this message, when this seed getting pregnant to somebody else to bring it to you, I'm telling you straight up. We know what you doing. Your time's up. God is going to bring it into Hollywood. It ain't no more Hollywood. So when that light come on it, you better come out. All you roaches, we got raid coming your way. We got raid and we coming to spray. And that raid is the truth. And once we turn that light on, once Jesus...
Okay, y'all. Okay, let me go, because that Beyonce, Jesus, and Jehovah. These people think they God. Yeah, it's just way too much. Okay, yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a good night. Please hit the like button on the way out. Can you do that for me, please? Can you do that for me, please? Good night, Patricia. here. Okay, there I go. Leticia, again, thank you for the jewels. Chelsea. Who else came through? Bryant. English. Did I say Chelsea, Bryant? Yeah. I know Boogie came through. Big Pink. Senti. Again, thank you, Chelsea, for renewing your membership. I love seeing the stars by y'all names. Bye, Betty. Aomi. It Factor. Latoya. Sheila came through. Stop playing. Okay, that's as far back as I can go. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. I really appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night. Pray the evil spirits away from you. Oh my goodness. There is dark sides to these people. We got to stop letting them play in our face. We got to stop acting like they are exempt from doing these evil, nasty, horrible things. It's in them. It's been in them. They've had people and friends and that came close to telling it or exposing them come up missing and deceased. It's just horrible. Good night. Y'all have a good night.